Hello MotoGP enthusiasts. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Ducati Corse General Manager Gigi Dall'Igna has described MotoGP's 2027 regulation overhaul as a rare and exhilarating engineering reset. With the introduction of smaller 850cc engines, a ban on ride height devices, tighter aerodynamic restrictions, and the landmark switch from Michelin to Pirelli tyres, Dall'Igna insists the challenge is nothing less than building a completely new bike. For him, this is not a burden but an opportunity, a chance to unleash creativity and redefine Ducati's competitive edge in the sport's next era. Pedro Acosta approaches his 2027 move to Ducati with remarkable composure, framing it as a fresh chapter rather than a daunting leap. The Spaniard, already hailed as one of MotoGP's brightest young stars, insists he feels no pressure about joining the reigning champion Marc Márquez at the factory team. Instead, he sees the transition as a long-term project, a chance to adapt to a new culture, learn from one of the sport's greatest riders, and grow alongside Ducati as MotoGP enters the 850cc/Pirelli era. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. The sweeping changes strip away many of the incremental solutions that teams have refined over the past decade. Ride height devices, once central to acceleration and stability, will vanish. Aerodynamic appendages, which had become increasingly elaborate, will face stricter limits. Even the familiar Michelin tire data will be rendered obsolete. Dall'Igna framed this as a gift for engineers. Instead of tweaking existing concepts, they can explore radical new architectures, rethink packaging, and experiment with fresh trade-offs. When you can start from a completely new piece of paper, for an engineer this is the best toy you can have. The emphasis shifts from incremental refinement to bold invention, rewarding those willing to take risks in design philosophy. Among the rule changes, two stand out as transformative. The ban on ride height devices removes a crucial tool for controlling wheelies and maximizing acceleration, forcing teams to rely more heavily on suspension geometry and chassis balance. Meanwhile, the switch to Pirelli tires introduces a new grip profile, thermal behavior, and wear characteristics. Every team must rebuild its understanding of tire-to-chassis integration, a process that could take seasons to perfect. Success in the early 850cc era will hinge less on raw horsepower and more on how effectively teams adapt their mechanical balance to the new tires, making tire management a decisive battleground. The reduction from 1000cc to 850cc engines demands new combustion strategies, torque delivery models, and packaging compromises. Smaller displacement means less brute force, but it opens opportunities for agility and efficiency. Dall'Igna revealed he had lobbied for hybridization, adding a small electric motor to complement the combustion engine, during rule discussions. Although cost concerns prevented adoption, he argued that hybridization could teach valuable lessons and spark creativity. The debate signals that MotoGP is beginning to consider a future beyond pure internal combustion, echoing Formula One's hybrid era and hinting at a long-term evolution in racing technology. Dall'Igna emphasized that Ducati's accumulated expertise remains a powerful advantage, but many of the solutions perfected in the 1000cc era will not carry over. The challenge is to transform institutional knowledge into novel concepts that exploit the new constraints. Ducati's strength lies in its ability to combine deep experience with agile reinvention, ensuring that lessons learned from past dominance fuel innovation rather than limit it. Factories that cling to legacy solutions risk stagnation. Those that embrace reinvention will define the competitive order of the 850cc era. Ducati's roadmap includes private tests with race riders, notably at the Red Bull Ring after the Austrian Grand Prix. These sessions will be critical for validating prototypes and identifying which design philosophies deliver lap-time gains. Observers should watch how Ducati addresses corner entry stability without ride height devices, how chassis geometry adapts to Pirelli's grip profile, and whether any experimental energy recovery concepts quietly appear. The first laps of the 850cc prototypes will reveal whether theoretical designs translate into usable race performance, offering the first glimpse of who has mastered the reset. Gigi Dall'Igna's excitement reflects the upside of disruption, a forced reinvention that rewards creativity and daring. For Ducati, the challenge is to carry forward its engineering know-how while rethinking fundamentals from the ground up. As the first 850cc prototypes hit the track, the 2027 reset promises a fresh technical battle where imagination, adaptability, and bold design choices will decide the leaders of MotoGP's next era. Acosta has been clear that his multi-year contract gives him the luxury of patience. He intends to use his first season at Ducati to acclimatize to the factory environment, focusing on building relationships and understanding the nuances of the Desmosedici. The second season, he says, will be the time to push for results. "I have no pressure. I will have time the first one to get the rhythm and then see what happened in the second one." This measured approach contrasts with the urgency often placed on rookies in factory teams. By lowering immediate expectations, Acosta positions himself to absorb knowledge without the burden of instant comparison, a strategy that could pay dividends in consistency and confidence. Acosta has spent 6 years with KTM, a team he joined as a teenager, and where he built deep familiarity with the people and processes. Moving to Ducati means entering what he calls an Italian box, a new culture, new engineers, and a different rhythm of work. He acknowledges the adjustment will take time, but views it as part of the challenge. The cultural shift is as significant as the technical one. Ducati's box is known for its intensity and passion, and Acosta's ability to adapt to that environment will be crucial. Success will depend on patience, communication, and his willingness to embrace a new way of working. Acosta is 11 years younger than Márquez, who is nearing the twilight of his career. Rather than seeing this as intimidating, Acosta frames it as an opportunity. Márquez's experience and established role within Ducati provide a resource Acosta can learn from, while his own youth and hunger bring fresh energy to the team. The dynamic could evolve into a mentorship-style relationship, with Márquez guiding Acosta through the complexities of factory racing. If managed constructively, this partnership could accelerate Acosta's development, while giving Márquez a legacy role in shaping Ducati's future. Acosta's arrival coincides with MotoGP's biggest regulatory reset in years: the introduction of 850cc engines, the ban on ride height devices, stricter aerodynamic limits, and the switch to Pirelli tyres. He views this as an ideal moment to join Ducati, since the entire grid will be adapting to new machinery. This timing reduces the pressure of immediate comparison. With everyone learning anew, Acosta can grow alongside the bike's evolution, making his first season about rhythm building rather than outright results. It's a shared learning curve that aligns perfectly with his patient approach. At the time of the announcement, Acosta sits 7th in the championship standings, comfortably ahead of his KTM peers. His consistent podiums and sprint victory at Burum demonstrate both raw talent and racecraft maturity. These results underpin his confidence that, given time and the right environment, he can translate his skills into success at Ducati. Ducati gains a rider who is already outperforming his machinery, suggesting that with factory support and a competitive bike, Acosta could become a cornerstone of their future. Pedro Acosta's mindset is pragmatic and patient, no rush, no panic, and a clear plan to acclimatize before delivering. With a multi-year deal, an 11-year age gap to his legendary teammate, and the dawn of the 850cc era, Acosta is poised to grow steadily into his role. For Ducati, the signing represents not just talent but temperament, a rider who embraces integration over instant headlines, and who could become the face of their next chapter in MotoGP. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!